Hey, are you ready? Welcome to the Say Michael podcast. Hey, what's up? Hello there. I'm your host, Michael Agbajan. I want to welcome you to the Say Michael podcast, one man's attempt at business, family, and comedy. And we're here on the 31st episode, the big 3-1. We are climbing, and a lot of things happen. I want to hear what's happening in your life. I can tell you a little bit of what's happening in mine. I actually recently cracked open one of my new pair of shoes, and it didn't go the way I thought. I have these, the YSLs, so they're East St. Laurent's, and they're these, I forgot which one they are, but they're black and gold. They look like the Jordan 1s. And I don't know what was happening with my left foot with this shoe, but, throughout the day, in the middle of the day, I couldn't even walk in them. It kind of felt like if you had Chucks, Chucks and they're too small. I'm not sure if you have a pair of Chucks and if they're too small, you don't wear shoes like that to the state fair. You don't wear shoes like that when you're going hiking, or you'll have so many corns on your foot, or what's the other one? Bunions. But this particular shoe, my left one, it was so painful. I had to have my foot in there like halfway, just so like the pressure could stop and I kind of loosen up the side. It was painful. I was like, man, I know how women feel when it comes to, fashion and what they have to do. But, I had to start wearing these shoes because I have so many shoes that I'm getting, like brand new shoes, and I'm not going nowhere to be like wearing them. So I'm like, I need to start wearing them. So now I'm actually wearing them out. And it's pretty invigorating. I like it. I wore another pair of my black on black Gucci's today. But I don't want to hurt nobody. I ain't trying to put no pressure on nobody. I don't want people feeling bad when I walk around. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want people looking at me like, man, look at his shoes. I'm like, hey, I don't need all this attention. I don't need all this attention right here. I'm just a simple guy, goes to work just like everybody else. I don't want to bring too much attention to myself with shoes that are overly attractive, But I guess it's just the price we pay. I guess that's the price we pay. But we had a really good week, especially at the Water Boys. We did the Presbyterian Hospital. That went really well. Blew those doctors away. Pause. And what made that one so good is that, it's funny. The guy who's setting this all up for the doctors, he's telling us, okay, when you arrive, you're going to see the Margot Perot building. Okay, across from that, you're going to see a garage. Then after you'll go on the right side of the garage, which just says contractor, and then you go down about halfway, and then you take a left, and then you're going to go straight for a while, and then you go right, and then you're going to kind of look, and you're going to see these 4 parts. I'm like, this is a lot to be telling somebody over the phone or to follow. And it's funny because some people get used to, like, he probably goes down this way every single day and is describing it like it's nothing. And eventually when we did get there, when we showed up, it was really hard to find it. And he was getting a little bit frustrated, one of our detailers, talking about, like, it shouldn't be this difficult. And I'm thinking, it's not that easy though. It shouldn't be this difficult, but it's not that easy. But yeah, either way, blew them away. They saw it. There's like, my car hasn't looked, a lot of them like, my car hasn't looked like this since it was brand new. But that's the usual response. So Presby went good. Look at me now. I'm calling them Presby instead of Presbyterian. Hey, that's what goes down when you have a relationship like that. You dig? Yeah, and I hired a marketing person for both the Water Boys and the Barber Academy. But we're starting where she's going to focus a little bit more on the Water Boys first, so she could kind of get her feet wet, get these ads out, and see where she needs help before I try to put too much on her plate. So far, she's finding out all the the rates for the radio station and what we should be paying for it. And she's about to do her first email marketing and Facebook campaign. I really am excited to see where this goes, but this is a different area for me, hiring somebody just to do marketing. So that's exciting, but a little scary. But I must tell you what happened recently. Since we're talking about marketing, there was a marketing company that called me. Now, this is really an interesting story. It was a marketing company that called me, and this was about 5 days ago. So the marketing company called Page Hub. That's what it's called, Page Hub, PAGEHUB. So, I'm in the living room. My wife's there. She's off that day, so it's just me and her at home. And I get a call, and they're like, "Hey, can I speak to the owner of the Water Boys?" I say, "Yeah, this is Michael." And he said, "Okay, hey, we do this, online marketing. Well, we'll set up your Google account and do us." He's going, line for line. And I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah, sounds interesting." So I wasn't interested at first because I usually don't like, soliciting. But, he said some things that were convincing, like really convincing. So I was actually interested. I was like, "Okay, I can't talk right now." He's like, no. He's telling me more deals about how they could, get me to show up where, when you search on Google, like ice cream shop near me, that when they do car wash near me, that they'll find us. And I'm like, okay, I do need that. So he had my attention. And then I was like, hey, I got to call another line. Hold on real quick. Ended up being a customer. I told him another line, and I flipped back over, and I told him, hey, I got a customer on the other line. Can we pick this up another time, maybe tomorrow morning? He said, yeah, sure. Let's pick it up tomorrow morning. That's okay. Cool. Appreciate it so much. All right. Thanks, man. All right. Bye. Hang up. Flip over to the next line. I'm taking care of the customer, sign them up, making sure everything's smooth. And then after the customer hangs up, it goes back to, I see that the marketing company that called me was still on the line. So I switched back, and I was like, hello. I was like, hello. And I can't hear anything. I hear them, but they don't hear me. So I'm just like listening in. I was like, hello. And I put the phone on mute, and tell me why I hear these people like talking like mad-ish about my business. Like they were they're going in. And by that, they didn't say anything personal because they don't know anything or whatever, but they were clowning. They're like, man, look at this. What they're actually saying. I'm listening. I was like, hello? Oh, well, actually, I put it on mute. So they're like, man, look at his employees. Look at how that motherfucker. Look at this guy. He blazed. Man, look, they got a black dude. They got a little Mexican dude. I guess you just pick your favorite race. I guess the Water Boys a race. That's what it is. And the girl's on there. She's like, yeah, they get a Muslim. They got a Jew. I was like, whoa, this is inappropriate. And I'm just listening. I was like, oh. So I hurried up to my wife. I was like, blah. They're like talking about my business right now. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah, they're like talking down on my business. And, you hear them. And then they saw me. They said, look at this. Where is Michael Agbajan? Who's this guy? Who's this motherfucker? He ain't got no picture on here. This motherfucker must be ugly than a motherfucker. Must be ugly than a mug. And I was like, they're talking about me now, personally. So I'm just like listening. So I hit the record for most of the stuff that they're saying. And he's like, so they're just talking. And then this was going on for about 25 minutes. you know when someone pocket dials you and you just leave it on just to kind of see if you can hear something, but you really don't think you're going to hear something. But when you do, you're like, whoa. And that's exactly what happened. So, I get all the information I need, and, eventually the woman who was talking to the guy who was helping me was like, oh my God, this call has been on for 27 minutes. And then she hung up. Right. So I was like, cool, let me go ahead and call them back. So I called them back and I was like, hey, I just spoke with, and it's like, yeah, who'd you speak with? I was like, I just spoke with Ted. I think a Ted. He's like, yeah, Ted. Let me get that over to Ted. And they say, hey, Michael, what's going on, Michael? How can I help you? I was like, hey, what's going on? Hey, can I get your first and last name? He's like, sure. And he gives me his first and last name. I was like, cool. And the woman who, I guess sits right next to you, like who transferred me to you, what's her name? Oh, her name's Karen, blah, blah, blah. And I put, okay, cool. And how about you? Like, do you have like a manager or anything like that? Oh yeah, his name is blah, 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 blah. Okay. And is there email? I'm just getting all this information. Like, yeah, man, if y'all ever need any type of help, or you're looking to sign up, and we'll do it like this. And I was like, okay, look, I appreciate you giving me all this information, but okay, when we were just on the phone just now, yeah, I switched over because I need to talk to a customer, but when I switched back, you never hung up the phone. Okay, I was like, yeah, and I heard you talking shit about my business, like you going in. He's quiet. I was like, hello, yes. I was like, okay, do you hear me? Yes. I was like, so can I speak to your supervisor, your manager? I am the supervisor. I am the manager. I was like, oh, here we go. Ignorance. I was like, you're the supervisor. You're the manager. Yep. I was like, so you own this company? Yep, I do own this company. I was like, so you have employees? Nope, it's just me. I was like, sir, can you send me to your manager or your supervisor? I am the manager. I'm the supervisor. I am a contract labor and I work by myself. I was like, for what company? For my own company. What company are you partnering with? My own. I was like, look, you need to transfer me to your supervisor, your manager now. I understand all of a sudden now you've gone blank with all your information, but I need to speak with them. And then he like attempted to I think almost hang up on me, but it went immediately to transfer. And it was a guy, Mark, the manager that I spoke with. I mean, that he told me the name for. So I was like, hey, Mark, yeah, I told him the whole situation. I was like, yeah, I flipped over and then I, didn't hang up. And I was like, hello. And then I didn't hear anything. And then they said, I hear one of your employees, talking very negative about my business, about, my employees, their races and ethnicities. It was super disturbing and disgusting to listen to. And he's like, oh, okay. Like you could tell he wasn't even interested. He didn't even care, mainly. I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, I guess I'll talk to him. I was like, talk to him. I was like, all right. So, who's your manager? And he's like, I'm the owner of this branch. I was like, the branch of what? He says, Page Hub. I was like, so it's like a franchise or something? He's like, it's kind of like that. And, we do marketing with Page Hub. And I was like, okay, so who's the owner? He said, there is no owner. I was like, what? There's no owner of Page Hub? He's like, I can give you the main number. And I was like, all right, basically it went on and on with me calling another number, and it was like a warehouse manager, and the warehouse manager said he's over all the other branches. And I was asking who the owner was, and he says, you could talk to me. Wasn't being helpful at all. But yeah, but they're about to get blazed up online, because yeah, that's crazy. To overhear somebody on the line who's trying to do business with you, and you hear them talking mad crazy on the other line on accident. So eventually, they sent me back to call the main manager guy, and the main manager was like, hey man, like, I understand what happened. There's not really much I could do. I was like, yeah, there is a lot you could do. You just probably didn't want to do it. And he's like, yeah, well, you just want me to get, you just want me to get Ted to apologize to you. Want me to do that? I was like, oh, okay. I'll take that. And then I'm waiting. All of a sudden, I'm like, hello? He's like, hello? I was like, is Ted? Yes. I was like, okay, I guess what's going on? He's like, yes. Yes. If you heard any thing after we hung up that me and coworker had in a private conversation, and if I said anything that may have possibly offended you or anything like that, then for that, I guess I apologize. But yeah, I was like, apologize for what? Are you admitting to what you said, sir? I was like, yeah, I'm asking, are you apologizing? Are you admitting for, like, what are you admitting? What are you apologizing for? Sir, I will not cower. I was like, what? I will not cower. I was like, you will not cower. What are you talking about? You will not cower. What are you cowering from? Like, like, A, you are being cowardly by not admitting and taking accountability for what you said. But what, do you not stand by it? He says, sir, I will tell you right now, I will not cower. And I have that on recording too. And I was like, all right, man, if you don't feel like apologizing, it's all good. It's really all good. Then he transferred it back, and the guy was like, so is everything okay? I was like, no, that was the worst apology ever. And on top of that, he wasn't accountable. And then at the end, he was like saying he will not cower. He will not cower. Like, what is going on over there? What kind of company is this? And then they're like, sorry about that, sir. The best we could do is probably take you off our, put you on the do not call list. And I was really, at the end of the day, as outraged as I was trying to give me some free marketing. I was like, hey, do something for me. But I couldn't say that blatantly. But they didn't do nothing. They just looked at it in the situation where I know who trained these people. I know who put these people, like in the job that they're in. But terrible. And I looked on the Better Business Bureau, terrible. They're on Yelp, terrible. They're on Google reviews, terrible. They're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and they're trying to build their brand. And it's supposed to be a large brand, PageHub, but I will get down to the bottom of it and to figure out if I can get a hold of somebody about that particular incident, because, this is a unique incident of someone trying to do business with somebody and damn near harassing them on accident, So I don't know where that's going to go. I don't even know if that's a waste of time, but I got a little bit more time on my hands than usual. So I will be using some of that extra allotted time to contacting and figuring out what's going on at PageHub, because that is lame as hell. But yeah, that happened. And I learned something this week. This is on some other stuff. There's something called Benfords Law. This is one of the probably coolest discoveries I've made. I hope I don't bore anybody out or say anything that's like too nerdy. But Benfords Law, Benford, Benford's Law, and that comes from a Frank Benford from 1938. Well, what it is that, all right, first, let me kind of bring you back a little bit. There's a guy named Simon Newcomb, and that was in 1881. And he was looking at these dial books where you could like dial in like certain numbers and record. That's what they used to use instead of calculators. They used this book where, you could do like mathematical equations like in a form or whatever. But basically, there's a bunch of pages, and he noticed that the first pages were always used more than the further pages. Like, if you're going from 1 to 10, the 1, 2, 3s are used way more than the 7, 8, 9s, right? And then he made the discovery that there's a natural order, a natural balance. There's like things aren't so random. So let me explain this real quick. So, Frank Benford brought this back up in 1938 after, figuring out what, Simon Newcomb came up with in 1881. But basically, there's a average curve and number to our entire life. So basically, if you pick, let's talk about Instagram, and you go to your followers. If you find your followers and see how many followers they have, you could pick 20 of them randomly, and you put the first number down, and they call it Benfords Law is also called the first digit law or whatever. You put the first number down. So some of them might have 1,000, put that down. Some might have 800, you put the 8 down. Some might have, 20,000, you put 2 down. And what's going to end up happening is that out of all those random people that you picked who follow you, if you do an average of those numbers, you will find out that there'll be 30%, usually about 30 to 30.1% ones, and then it'll be like 17% twos, and then it'll be like 15% threes, and it follows like this curve. And it's like, well, actually, I think if you're looking from that angle, it's like this. And it's wild because this is with everything. If you talk about your family's heights, or if you talk about how many cards are in your wallet, or like anything that has to do with like a series of numbers or random numbers, if you take the first number of all these little random numbers, it usually always comes up with the same average of numbers. There's way more ones than there are twos, but there's way more twos than there are threes, and it keeps going all the way down to 9. The reason why this is important is that this is how they catch people when it comes to fraud. Like if you're playing with the numbers, or if the IRS, how they catch people from like committing fraud is by using Benfords Law. And it's been used for a while, and I didn't know they use this with a lot of things. They use Benfords Law to find out if there's Russian hackers or bots on they use Benfords Law to find fake followers. So basically, look, if you get your tax return and you get all the numbers in your tax return, and then you take the first digit, and then you again average the frequency of each number, the ones, the twos, the threes, the four, whichever starts with those digits. And what will happen is that if you did just naturally doing your IRS payroll or anything like that, it'll have Benfords Law. It'll set up perfectly, right? A perfect curve. But let's say you messed with the numbers a little bit. Let's say you finagled here and there, put some kind of false, unnatural number or something just to kind of cook the books a little bit. Benfords Law won't be a curve. It'll mess up. So once Benfords Law, the curve messes up, they know that there's fraud. When Enron happened with this company in the past that made up a bunch of numbers, they used Benfords Law on it, and they found, there's fraud going on. And then when they do your tax return, they put Benfords Law, and they see, the natural flow of your digits, and they find out, there's fraud here. And they use it for so many applications, and they even have conferences on Benfords Law. And then a lot of people who understand this don't know why it works. They don't know why everything, you can measure your finger, the tips of your finger. You can measure your elbow to your wrist, and put that with a bunch of other numbers, even with letters and what they start with, and what order they're in, like A, number 1, B, number 2, C, number 3. And you could put you take numbers from anywhere, put them together, and you'll always have a Benfords Law curve. And it's like magic. So the fact that they use this to find out if people are committing any fraud because something unnatural is going on is wild. It's a simple math use. But yeah, I would like if anybody is interested in things like that, little interesting things like that, Benfords Law is super amazing. Look at it. They even have part documentaries on it. But I know sometimes I nerd out on things. Hope this isn't too nerdy. And I know some of y'all who are accountants or CPAs listening to this, look up Benfords Law, because that's wild. And while you're looking that up, I hope that everyone is also investing in themselves And I get this question a lot, like how should I get started in investing, whether it be in stocks or anything like that. I think anybody just knows to get an account anywhere, like a Robinhood or something. And if you want to start, start with something small like $50 or $100 and just buy things that are around you, things that you use, things that are like close to you. So if you like Nikes or Adidas, or you shop on Amazon a lot, or use a Sony TV, anything like that, look at your own behavior. That's how you invest in yourself, and how much do you need to invest or what is it that you're looking for to gain. You just want to buy. When you're buying stocks, a lot of people now are trying to do a whole day trade, but you're buying a company. So you want to stay in these things as long as possible. That's the best way to invest. So if you had bought Apple when it started, you would have, if you had bought $100 of Apple when it started, not when it started, but like in the first few years, now you would have, over 200,000 with the $100 or $300 invested. You'll have over 200,000 of Apple, so when you think of buying stocks as like buying companies, because they really are. You're buying a piece of that company, and that's what you want to hold on for a long time, because you predict that this company will last, through hard times. That's what everyone's doing right now. And then, also, we need to get back, to daily life and just make sure that America could kind of stand up. So we need to make the right investments. Our focus right now when it comes to America should be making the right investments in healthcare, because, the fact that we don't have enough PPE, personal protection equipment, is crazy. And the number that we need to get to right now is that we need to have at least a little bit more than enough. All we need is a little bit more than enough, because we don't even have enough protection for the frontline healthcare workers. So, one thing that's going to help us get out of this whole mess, at least, sooner than later, is that we need to get this rapid testing. We need, if we could have some type of a test where you could figure out if someone has COVID-19 within a minute or two, that'll be a game changer, because then it'll be about who could come in, who's sick and who's not sick. Something non-invasive, something really simple. They're actually developing them now, and I think they have some. I'm not sure how reliable they are, but those rapid tests where you can find out if someone has COVID-19, like right then and there, is going to make it much easier for us to get back to like large group events. And it's not really the vaccine. It's more about the testing, because if you know that you have it, you don't come in, or if if it comes up that you do have it, you don't come in. And if you don't have it, you do come in. So everyone in the particular building, like let's say a mall or a sports arena, if they had like rapid tests, it'd just be a quick test. You find out, boom, you leave. Because right now where they do the heat to see if, like what your temperature is, it's not very reliable, because some people are asymptomatic, don't even have symptoms at all, and are spreading it to other people. So once that test comes out, those quick tests, I'm talking about in 1 or 2 minutes, where you can find out, or even less, if you have COVID-19 or not, is it going to be essential? So yeah, and then more, personal protection equipment, so there are organizations who are trying to help with it. There's a lot of different organizations, but our government needs to make sure that all these to invest in protection gear and in the hospitals in that way, just the manufacturing on that, even though manufacturing is coming back. And then lastly, we want to kind of focus in global cooperation, just to make sure we could get back into other countries and they could come back this way. It's a big effort, but stay strong through all this. Stay focused and stay hungry. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Peace. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh my God.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to figure out this whole ice thing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't want to have it all pour on me.
So you need a straw.
Yeah, how was your day?
It was good. I had a good day. I mean, it was all right. Let me not even lie.
Yeah, I know.
Customers again, annoying.
What they do or what's happening with customers?
You know, they just be lying. Oh, I need to return this because my dad already purchased it for me. Lie. Just tell me you need your money back.
You have to lie though.
I know, but or just don't even have a reason. Because I never even asked the question. I never say, why are you returning it? Oh, what happened? Or why are you changing your mind? I just like, oh, you want to return? Okay, cool. Follow me to the register. And they make up this long story. I'm just like, look, just give me a card so I could just return it.
Well, what do you think is the reason why people
You know, they get embarrassed because in our store, it's not like you just walk in and you just buy something, you leave. It's like you have to spend time with that person. You know, you're actually selling them something. And, you know, it's a lot of time that you spend with one client. You spend like 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes more with the client. And so when they try to return it or they come back to return it, it's like a guilt. They feel guilty because they wasted your time. They don't want you to feel bad. They feel bad that they're returning it, you know?
Yeah.
So they make up this long story. And it's just like, I get it. You had buyer's remorse. It's all good.
It's more than buyer's remorse. It's also that you get that commission.
Yeah, but a lot of clients don't know we make commission.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure a lot of them do, but a lot of them don't. They don't really know.
Oh, so do you respect the lie?
No, I never respect the lie.
You rather than just tell you the truth.
Just tell me the truth. This one guy came in with his wife and his kids, and they helped him pick out the shoes, which I wasn't there that day. And so the next day when I came to work, he came in on his own and was like, yeah, I want to return these shoes. My wife, she already bought me these shoes. And then sure enough, as I'm walking him to the register, he sees the associate who actually helped him purchase the shoes. And so once it was all wrong, I mean, you know, said and done return, he left. The associate was like, did he tell you why he returned those shoes? And I was like, oh, he said his wife already bought it. He was like, that's a lie. He was in the store with his wife and his kids, and his wife picked out the shoes. Yeah. And I'm just like, well, he probably said it because he felt, you know, embarrassed. He was like, people be lying. I'm like, I know they do.
Yeah, because, you know, but who's going to say, hey, man, I need the money?
We have some people who do. We do. We have some people be like, look, I shouldn't have bought this. I got a bill. Like, I got to pay my rent. I need my money back. So some people are very, very honest, but then some people just lie. So, like,
but what I'm saying is if someone lies or someone doesn't want to say, hey, I'm broke, they want you to look at them like they're a big spender. Because once you look at them like that, they might feel, if I tell this person the truth and tell them that I don't have the money or I need the money, they're going to treat me different next time I come in. They're not going to like take me like a serious customer.
That's true. Because this one guy who I've been dealing with for the past, like, I want to say 3 weeks, new client to the store, and he's been buying like a lot. And he came in maybe 3 days in a row, and then he came in a couple of times after that. And this is all within like 3 weeks. So it seems like every other day he's returning an item, but he doesn't come to my store. He'll go to like our sister store down the street at North Park. He'll return it there, or he'll send like his girlfriend in to return, or his little cousin. Like, it's always if they come to my store, it's not him. It's somebody who's related to him to come return the item.
So he got like a strategy.
He has a strategy, but I'm like, I know who this is because his name is on the receipt. And I'm the one who sold him all these items.
So but y'all can return even if it's not the person?
Yeah, you can return it because it's just going back to his card that he used. But it's just weird. I'm like, just face me, man. Are we scared of me? I'm your friend.
Yeah, well, you know
it's just like an embarrassment, I guess, for some people.
Don't you think y'all would have more sales? Tell me this. Theory.
Okay.
Don't you think y'all have more sales if y'all made returning items super easy? Like Amazon. Like Amazon.
We do because look, I work retail, but at the end of the day, I'm a shopper as well. So when I go to shop, I don't want people questioning me why am I returning it? So we make it really easy. Like if someone comes in and say, hey, I want to return it, we just look over the item. We like, you have your receipt? We look at the receipt. Cool. Follow me to the register. We never, ever ask, what made you change your mind? Why are you returning it? Did you want to exchange it instead of return? We never ask those questions because we get it. Like we've been on the other side, you know? So it's just like, I don't know. I guess some people just get really, really uncomfortable and they have to make up a story as to why they want to return it. But I get it, you know.
Sometimes I ask a customer or a former client or anybody after everything's all said and done. Like, let's say they want a refund. Or let's say they want to cancel. I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. And I was go through the whole process, cancel them real quick. And it's all good. I was like, so, you know, like, what was the reason? Is there something that, well, we're moving to, sometimes they'll tell me that right off top.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then sometimes I just don't believe them. I don't know.
Instead of moving, you run into them at the grocery store a month later.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you moved. They're like, oh, we moved back. We didn't tell you?
You know, one woman did. She was a customer. She was at North Park, and then she's actually in Conway Valley, so up here, right? Mm-hmm. So I see her at Tum Thum, and she's like, oh my God, and she kept talking at that time that she wanted to sign up her and her husband for a membership. Yeah, and she even bought that little plane. Remember a little rolling plane, like a little blue fighter jet?
Oh yeah.
She's like, this is for your boys. Have this for your boys. Yeah, bought it, and then followed with her. Didn't hear anything from her ever again.
Trash.
I was like, why'd you? She
was hiding from
when
you.
I say she was going so hard as far as we're gonna sign up, send us the email, do this for your boys.
They'd be the ones. They'd be lying.
Why? I mean, I already asked why, but
they're just trying to save face. They don't want you to think that they broke when they broke.
I feel like people who are too polite, some people stay in relationships so much longer to the point of even getting married. It happens a lot with men where you're with a girl and you wasted so much of her time that you have to propose. If you've been with a girl after, let's say, you've been with her 7 years.
That's way too long.
I know. 7 years. You can't break up then because it's almost like you wasted 7 years of this woman's life, right?
I know, especially if y'all just dating.
Yeah.
Damn.
And at 7 years, you got to be like, even if you don't even feel 100%, you still got to like do something. No?
Yeah, but I don't want you to feel guilty that you have to do something because you've been with me for 7 years.
That's probably why people have been together so long at that point, because it wasn't working at the first year. It wasn't working the third year.
Right.
The 6 years not working. The 7 years not working. It's like, you know what I mean? And they're like, all right, like what next? And you're like, let's just keep trying to make it work. We can't keep trying to make this work.
My goodness.
We got to take it to that level or nothing at all. Then you end up locking in.
Man.
And then you have horribleness to the end. But,
oh my God.
I don't want to predict anybody's marriage or lives, but I do know that some people stay together for 8-9 years. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what's going on?
I know. I also found some interesting news today, which is good news, but bad news for me. Right. I didn't tell you this, but I'm not the number one seller anymore.
Oh, man.
I know. I got knocked off after being the number one seller for 3-4 years in a row.
So this used to be your favorite sound.
Yeah.
That's my favorite sound.
Dang.
No more?
No more. Well, I was number one seller for July. Mm-hmm. But for the year, no.
Who are you?
Sang.
Are you number 2?
I'm number 2.
Oh man!
But that's because I was quarantined for those 2 weeks.
You feel like that's your reason, or I don't want to give you any excuses.
No, it's definitely my reason because I'm 2 weeks behind, and I was out of work for 2 weeks.
Damn.
So she knocked me out my spot. I mean, congrats to her.
It just happened?
Yeah, we found out today. We announced it today.
How long were you top seller?
For I think 4 years. Maybe 3 or 4 years.
It means you're getting comfortable.
I think so. I've been a little lazy too. I haven't really been working as hard at work.
But that's part of your secret sauce.
It is my secret sauce. But I think what it is too, I don't on my off days I put down my work phone. So when my customers are hitting me up, I try my hardest not to respond. Whereas before, I worked on my off days, and I would respond to my clients and transfer items in and just go above and beyond for them on my off days. Now, I try not to.
Why?
I'm trying to, have that separation, and I'm actually enjoying, the moments I have at home, spending it with you or with the boys or just by myself. It doesn't give me that pressure to work on my day off. I'm actually just enjoying me time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you're not putting too much pressure, unnecessary pressure on yourself.
Unnecessary pressure on myself. And just remembering that when I clock out, I'm done with work. Nope, don't text me, don't call me, don't ask me about nothing until the moment I clock in, then we could talk about work.
But you're feeling that hit though.
Yeah, I'm feeling that hit. I am. I was like, dang, somebody finally knocked me out. But
that's
it's
how
all
it
good
works.
though.
That sucks because you kind of pull back a little bit and then someone comes up.
It's good though. I need that work-life balance. I'm tired of missing all these baby showers and all these birthday parties. Like, you go to everything.
Yeah.
And the kids go to everything. And they're like, we're blind. You're like, work.
But that was before COVID. Now it's pretty much same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
We don't go anywhere like that. You know, I think we should though.
Yeah, we have something coming up in 2 weeks. Well, yeah, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. The resorts. Spend 2 days out there, you know, kid free.
Yeah, and I was kid and COVID free.
Damn, I don't know about that COVID part though.
It's wild out there.
It's a resort, so hopefully it's kid free.
It should be good.
Yeah, it should be. I think it's gonna be fun. Just something to do, you know, it's not too far away, and drive there, drive back, you know.
Do you have any plans of trying to get back your number one spot, or you just kind of like,
nah,
you're good?
I'm good. I mean, I'm doing better than I did last year, so.
It's not like you're in retirement, low key.
No, I won't say that. And it's funny, I talked about retirement today with my coworkers.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't wait to go into retirement. No, I'm gonna let somebody else have it. You know, I'm good. I'm content where I am.
Okay, humble.
Yeah, you know, I'm
Look
good
at
where
you.
I'm at, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself, and yeah, you know, I'm just taking it day by day. Like, I'm good. I'm tired of stressing about work. You know.
Are you stressed about anything?
Right now, no. I'm not tensed in the shoulders. Like, I'm good right now.
Yeah, I was stressing about them. The shoes I was wearing today.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I know you're like, your feet was burning.
Man.
See, pain is beauty. That's what happens when you wear a new pair of shoes. You got to break them bad boys in.
Yeah, I was telling my mom. She was like, I was like, I have to wear these shoes because I have so many shoes that I've got through this whole thing, and even from last year.
Man,
I still haven't worn them yet.
No, you have not. That's why I said this morning, if you don't wear these shoes, I'm not buying you no more shoes until you wear all of your new shoes.
I know, but then it seems a little bit too much, you know.
It's okay.
When you break out the bad boys, you don't want to make it seem like you're being too aggressive.
Yeah.
You know?
I told my coworker today, I was like, Michael out there stunting today. She was like, where you going? I was like, nowhere, to work.
I know I have my black and golds on.
You was dressed up.
But where was I going with that?
Your feet was just hurting.
Yeah, that's what I was stressing about. Also,
yeah.
Also, like this week, the news cycle and everything kind of been a little bit like foggy and chill. Like there's no
urgency.
Big news. Although, something happened today though.
What happened today?
In Beirut, Lebanon.
Oh yeah,
huge explosion.
I heard about that. Yeah,
but no one really knows too many facts yet.
That's all I heard.
Yeah,
literally was that. There was
have you seen the explosion?
No, I haven't seen anything.
It's like gigantic.
Really?
Yeah, and then there was another situation where a guy he was having issues. Oh, his roommate, aka also his landlord, said that he would have to move out, and the roommate who he was telling to leave went and got a samurai sword and beheaded.
What?
Yeah, his roommate. Yeah. Oh. And then they found him. They found him because like the cell phone he had on him.
Yeah.
They followed it from wherever he kind of made a break. So he was found like 90 miles away, but somewhere along those 90 miles, they said they got him at, you know, based on the towers at this lake, and they had him there for like 40 minutes. So then they went back to where they pinged him.
Yeah.
They found the samurai the samurai little pocket thing sword on one side of the lake, and then the sword on the other.
Oh,
so you saw that
goodness.
he tried to like dispose of it.
Wow.
Yeah, but he like beheaded him.
That's so sad. Just because you couldn't pay your rent.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, evictions. You've seen some other stuff come out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wonder now that you gotta like make those hard decisions. Because there's not enough like particular help out there. Cause,
right.
You know, I hear a lot of people winning, but then there also is an equal amount or even greater amount losing based on the help they're not getting.
Right.
So I could just imagine what type of stress that guy was under.
I mean, it's crazy. Like even, what was this, on Saturday, you know, driving home from work, I told you on my way home, like there were two separate families on two different corners about maybe 2 miles from each other. and they were out there with their kids asking for money. And I was like, first of all, I never see that, in this neighborhood. And then to see a woman with her kids out there, and you can tell they weren't homeless. They were dressed really, really nice. Both of the ladies had a handbag on. So they, you could tell that they had somewhat of money or something, but I think that they were asking for money because they were probably about to get evicted. And this was actually, I think it was on August 1st or August 2nd. So it was just crazy. I've never seen that before.
So something that was so close to like the time where they cut it off, you think that may have something to do with it?
Oh yeah, I think it had a lot to do with it.
Two different families. It
was August 2nd. Because I remember it was the day after the first, obviously. But I think it was August 2nd. And when I was driving home and I saw it, and I just was so shocked. I was like, I've never seen that before. If it was a homeless person, you know what I mean? I'd be like, okay, I get it. But this was like a person just in regular clothes with their kids dressed in regular. It looked like they was dressed in their Sunday's best. Like, honestly, like they had on like beautiful dresses standing outside. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, it's already beginning,
Woo, man.
I know.
I can imagine how bad it is in Houston. Houston's already had or has had a like super long, like, I guess, issues with like homelessness.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that. There's a part in Third Ward where there's like a grocery store and it's almost like a tent city at one point.
Wow.
But I do remember that in Houston, like the homelessness started getting worse and worse, and then now it's like pretty much everywhere.
Really bad.
Yeah, it's same thing in Dallas too.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, she wants to open like a homeless shelter. So what she did was she made these little like kits to give them. She made over like 100 kits, and it had like, toiletries and snacks and all that stuff, which I thought was extremely sweet because it just came out of her pocket. She just did it. And, she drove around her neighborhood, which is Addison, Carrollton, Dallas. And she was just like, man, she does it all the time. So she knows some of the homeless people because they've been there for so long. But then she was like, blah, there was so many people that were new, who just got evicted. And she was like, the mental health is like really crazy right now. She's like, it's really bad. And something I learned about her too, which I didn't know, is that her mother-in-law is homeless. But she chooses to be homeless. Like she just feels free, and she doesn't feel like she has to pay any bills. And this is like the freest she ever felt in her life. Like she chooses to live on the street.
I told someone that, and they thought I'm loony for even saying that. I'm like, no, some people like rather choose to be homeless, and they're like, there's no way. I was like, yeah, like I actually know of two people who made the choice because they didn't want to have any responsibilities.
Exactly.
They didn't want to. They just wanted to do that as a choice, And they're like, no, there's nobody out there who would choose to be homeless. I'm like, yeah,
there's people. Yeah, and she said she's been homeless for a couple of years, and she refuses the help. Like she tells them, like, no, I don't want your help. I'm good. Like I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. And she likes being homeless. But then she said there's a lot of people who she know that are homeless is due to like veterans who aren't able to get work. So it was just, we had a long conversation about that on Sunday. It's pretty sad, very, very heartbreaking to see all that happening.
Yeah, when I was in LA for it was like some trip in the past. This is like 6-7 years ago.
Oh, it must have been one of your guys' trips.
Maybe it was. But we were at this pancake spot.
Oh, Pancake House?
Is it Pancake House?
No, I just made that up. I mean, I know there's one in Dallas. So
yeah, it's not the Pancake House.
It was IHOP.
No. And after when we're leaving, one girl ended up like getting mad at some homeless person, and then like I came over there. I was like, "What's going on?" This like, she was like kind of talking down the homeless person, talking about how he didn't want to take her food. Right? I had to explain to her that when you give a homeless person discarded, like,
her leftovers.
Yeah, her leftovers.
That's so disgusting.
Yeah, I know. And I said, you don't give someone your like discarded like leftover food,
right?
You know what I mean? I'm like, think of the dignity, at least at the very minimum, that they would want food that's like not tampered with.
Exactly. They're not animals.
Yeah. So she's like, he didn't want to take my food, and if he's homeless, like kind of talking like that in front of him. I was like, hey, look, you don't give anybody eating food already. Like they're not your family. You know what I mean?
That's crazy that she thought that was okay.
Yeah. She didn't connect it, and then after she's like, oh well, I didn't know. I was like, yeah, you don't give people discarded food. Like that's not even a thing. But in her head, she's thinking he's being ungrateful.
Wow.
And if you look at it, the pancakes got like they're it's like torn apart. If you look in there, it's like how she eats. You see what I mean? Like syrup, pancake, egg kind of split in the middle.
I mean, I get it. He homeless, but dang, don't treat him like a dog.
Yeah,
like just don't give the man your scraps.
Yeah, you know? Scraps and discarded food.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I know that there is a thing where you're not allowed. Especially, I know in Dallas for sure that you're not allowed to give homeless people food in general.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you might be able to give them packaged food or something like that, but.
Well, she gave him like chips and stuff.
Yeah, I think you can do that. But I think it's like if you're doing like sandwiches and...
I don't think she gave him sandwiches.
You see some people do that sometimes where they buy burgers and do all that.
See, I even thought about doing that. So, like you can't make sandwiches and give it to him?
From the last I was told,
yeah,
it's like you get fined for...
Oh, I see.
And the only reason I would think that being the case is that, there could be someone who either has like mental illness or they might have something or whatever that... Yeah. You could tamper with their food and they might not even know it.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And there's people who do some like wild stuff.
I know.
Just to like get a rise, Right,
what I mean? Right, exactly. No, that makes sense. But I know she did put like chips and mints and gum and stuff like that, water. But it was mostly like Band-Aids. She sent me a picture, but it was like the way she did it was like so much stuff in there too. So I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the homeless people, like, I wonder how the relationship sector of it goes. You know what I mean?
Like within the homeless community?
Yeah.
I'm sure they all know each other.
Oh, like really close?
Yeah, I wouldn't say close, but I'm sure they know because, they all pretty much live in the same area, So I would think that they are familiar with each other. Like, oh, what's up, Bobby?
Yeah.
It's like their own little community, I would think.
Well, there's one where the guy who was under a bridge, and remember, it looked like a hotel.
Oh, wow.
He did his whole place. Like he sculpted up with like boxes and this and all these different type of things, and he had like different rooms.
That's
like,
crazy.
This is this room, and then he had TV working in there and a little freezer.
See, that's probably the person who chose to be homeless.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and he brought everybody in, and he's like, okay, yeah, this is where I watch TV. It's like, you have power, you have water, you have this.
Yeah,
he's like,
where
he was a clean guy. He's like, I like taking care of myself. I like doing that. I'm like,
wow, ain't gotta pay not one bill.
Yeah,
must be nice.
Not one.
Not a one bill.
I wouldn't mind that though.
I wouldn't either.
Only when it comes to like the showers and
okay. Now you speaking my language because. I gotta shower twice a day, y'all. I got to. So I don't know how that's gonna work for me.
They do it in LA where some people pretend to be homeless for like a few days or for a week to like be in solidarity with homeless.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Is it like some type of test or something?
I don't know, but it's like it's to me it's very insensitive. You know what I mean? It's like you're homeless for the week or homeless for the few days.
You get to go to your house.
Yeah, and then you're tweeting or you're posting from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have you packed up your portable chargers, you know what I mean? Like you packed up everything you need so you can like change out and
oh my God.
You already have a friend's house, you go clean up real quick and then go back out. So it's like that's not.
Are you really homeless?
Yeah, you're not really like.
No,
let's not play.
People be playing games. They be out here playing too many games.
Yeah, I'm like, come on now, you're gonna pretend.
Well, this world, that's what it's all about, pretending.
But if it wasn't a rude thing, I would do it.
No,
I would see how it would be to be like homeless for a day, like how you get treated, and like what happens, and what do you do? How do you survive? Like how do people just treat you in general? I would like to know that.
That just sounds like being black.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing.
It's the same struggles.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm sure they get treated just like us.
Yeah, but don't you wonder like Was it like at night when it comes to like getting your spot? And like birds, I don't even know what happens with them, or I don't even know squirrels now.
I don't know.
I'm talking real ignorant right now.
Yeah, you are. Let's change the subject.
Yeah, I'm not making any sense on that one.
Man.
There's another something, but I'm not even sure if I wouldn't bring this up.
Bring it up. Why?
Because no one really knows. Okay, Brian Callen, the comedian in L.A. So there's Chris D'Elia who got accused.
Chris.
Yeah, of like soliciting nudes and.
Oh, he did?
Soliciting or trying to get it.
Oh, okay.
Underage girls, right? Yeah. And then his friend Brian Callen got hit up too.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Oh my God! And it was like four different women.
Oh wow!
And one of them was accusing him of actual rape. Wow. Another one was accusing him of like violating her, like kissing her in like a dressing room. Another one said he said something like, "Oh, she had an affair with him for like 6 years or something like that."
While he was married.
Yeah, while he's married. And I can't remember what the fourth one. She said something that he did say something like, "Women have a primal instinct to want to be, R word,
raped."
Yeah, which is wild.
That's crazy. That sounds like something an animal would say.
Yeah, and he vehemently like detested and said this is not true, nothing at all, and he's like in panic mode and super defensive right now, which I don't think is a good way of going about it.
Well, if he's guilty, then he should be defensive.
But it's almost like you're already guilty. Yeah. And even already, just to make matters even worse, he's going through a divorce that that started in February. So wow. So think about it. The pandemic hit, or the pandemic's about to hit. He goes through a divorce that's still currently happening. Yeah. Pandemic hits, then he can't do stand up. He can't do his thing. And now
got these allegations.
Yeah, these allegations, and now he has to step away temporarily from his podcast where he makes his money and all that. And he's doing shows and all that.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, but how do you, like I asked you, like how do you defend? Let's say it was or wasn't true. How do you go about it? If it was true, is there something you could do to make it better when it comes to saying something, or no?
No. Even if you admit to doing it, I mean, you still get locked up, right?
Yeah.
And then if you don't admit to doing it, either way, it still makes you look like a bad person. If you admit to doing it, you look like a bad person because you are. And if you admit to not doing it, but then it comes out that you actually did do it, you look like a bad person.
But have you come out and say, I didn't do it, but you never go up to to provide proof or to give your side or whatever, just by being accused?
Yeah, because it's multiple women. It's 4 women for right now that we know of that's accusing you, and they each have their own story. So same thing happened with Bill Cosby. It was like 1 woman, then 2, then 3, then 4. And he's like denying it. And then all these women come out and they're like, me too. I was a victim too. And he still denied it. He still was denying it up until he got prisoned. Sentenced. And he still denies it to this day, I guess. I don't think I've ever heard him come out and say he did it. So, whether you deny it or admit that you did it, you're still a horrible person.
So tell me, when it comes to like Amy Pollard, Amy the comedian.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
She just had the baby.
Amy
Schumer.
Schumer?
Yeah, she usually comes out first with saying something in like, congratulations to the lady, or thank you for, saying this. If you ever want to talk more about it, call this line, et cetera, right? And, there's a situation where some people believe no matter what the claim is, people believe it, but the people who usually don't is usually like men. And I want to know what the miscommunication is when women are saying believe all women, like they're just not making it up. Yeah. But then men automatically think that they're being targeted.
Right.
And that it's being made up, and that, if they want to take your career down, conspiracy theory wise,
they could just say that.
They could just say it and make up those claims.
But what woman would make that up? Has there ever been a time where a woman has made up that she was raped by somebody. I mean, I'm sure, but I don't know. It's just very rare.
It's very rare. Yes.
Because you could get in a lot of trouble for that, I would think. If you just go around.
Not as much as you would imagine. It's not equal. It's not like, the amount of trouble the guy gets into, the woman gets into. It's a false claim.
She don't get jail time.
There's some people who don't get, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And
see, that's where the rules need to change, I guess.
But then it's hard because if you make the rules too stringent, and people won't come out in general because they feel like their voice is not going to be heard, or they're going to automatically.
But if you're telling
the truth,
then you wouldn't get in trouble for telling the truth. I mean, maybe it's hard to say, yes, I was raped by this man, because there's no proof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's probably why women just keep quiet. And I don't want to speak for women who have been raped before, but to me, I would think that that's a reason why some women don't say anything, because there's no proof and they feel like nobody's going to believe them, So once they muster all this strength and courage years later to say something, it's like, I mean, you could believe me or you don't have to, but I'm telling you this what it is, knowing that there's no proof. You know what I mean? They're just confident to come out and finally say it.
So it's risky for both sides.
It is, yeah, definitely.
But what could a man do? This is a better question. What could a man do because these things are coming back. The first woman who accused him, for it was like 21 years ago.
Oh wow! Okay.
You know what I mean? And Brett Kavanaugh with that case, that was the same thing. It happened a long time ago, and they're saying there shouldn't be a statute of limitations on finally speaking up or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But there is a way of knowing, because when you hear a man say, which he said, she agreed to have sex with me, right?
Right.
To me, that doesn't sound like a natural thing. Right. You know what I mean?
Oh, wait. Wasn't Russell Simmons accused?
Yeah.
So what happened with that?
He's just in hiding.
Really?
Yeah, he's just quiet and he doesn't really do much. And if he's attached to something, people will remove themselves.
Man, you think he paid her off for something?
No, he's like, I mean, what I'm saying is he's gone completely off the map as far as with his practices. Like he does like mindful meditation, and he doesn't do any collaborations with nobody. He doesn't work on his company. He stepped down from both of them. He's just kind of like in solitude with one of his daughters every now and then, like popping in. Yeah. But he's a guy who is not really like connected.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you could see that. He'll try to be on something, and then people just start removing themselves. Like, oh, Russell Simmons on it.
Man.
So he's, like grade A toxic.
Right.
So that's his situation, because he said all the claims were false too. And there's like multiple women on him.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, after an encounter, especially a sexual encounter, happens with a woman, there has to be some level of a follow up.
I don't know. I don't think so. You mean like a one night stand?
No. If you did have one night stand, right?
Am I supposed to hear from you in the morning?
No. With someone that you know.
Okay.
And what ends up happening is that it didn't go the way that neither of y'all thought it would, and y'all are kind of like, let's say the man went a little too far.
Yeah.
Right? That woman usually X's him out, tells her friends he's a creep. Don't be around that type of guy.
Right.
And everyone's just like quiet about him. He doesn't really know he's being talked about.
Right.
But is there a way that man can kind of like rectify or follow and like say something to make her, to get an understanding that like, is everything okay? Like the Aziz Ansari where he went too far. But after that, he kind of just left it.
You can, but then I feel like if you do a follow up, that's kind of admitting that things went somewhere it shouldn't have went. Maybe I was being a little too forceful.
Well, that's not what a woman would want.
No, I don't think so. I feel like that's you admitting that you did do something you weren't supposed to do. You know what I mean? If you were being forceful and then something happened and then the next day you follow up and say, hey, is everything okay? I just want to make sure like everything's good between us. To me, it's showing that, okay, you sensed that something was kind of off. So it's kind of like you admitting that you did something you really wasn't supposed to do, or you knew I wasn't comfortable doing this, but I felt forced into doing it, and now you checking up on me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's that's kind of admitting.
It's like snitching on yourself.
Pretty much, you just
okay.
snitch.
So if a guy went too far, what is he to do if he thinks that he went too far, but he's not sure?
He ain't gonna do nothing. He's just gonna be like, look, I'm gonna just let her just cool off, and we just gonna go our separate ways and pretend that this didn't even happen. That's what I would think.
No, I'm saying, what could he do?
Nothing.
I know. So if he did nothing, which is what usually happens, and then she comes out a year later, 2 years later, and says something, there's nothing that you could have done prior to.
I mean, yeah, you could have, but like I said, you would have to snitch on yourself and apologize for what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe, my bad if things went a little too far. I apologize. Then maybe she would probably feel a little bit better. She'd be like, yeah, he admitted, but he apologized.
See?
Yeah, but I don't think you could really apologize for rape though.
No.
Now, if you were a little forceful and you apologize, okay. I don't know. Okay. But if you actually raped somebody, you can't apologize. You can't check up on them the next day and be like, hey, my bad.
No, what I'm trying to make sure is this is not me talking about rape.
Right.
What I'm talking about is alleged rape, meaning the night didn't go the way that neither really wanted it. The guy either went too far and the woman checked out, or he wasn't listening to her nose or whatever. Yeah. And then things happen and then it kind of just stopped, you know what I mean? Or something where there's a violation that happened. Yeah. And either whether he be, completely sober or even, inebriated. Right. Something happened and he's like, oh, I don't think that was, should I, what?
Yeah, he can call. I'm sure there are guys out there who do make that phone call, which is fine. You can, yeah. But then there's guys out there who don't make the phone calls. And I feel like those are the ones who get accused for being too aggressive.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I feel like there's people when something happens and then there is no continuation or any type of follow up or, kindliness or whatever it is after. Yeah. Then you're leaving someone to kind of be a little bit resentful of what happened. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like now I see like it's like talking to a girl, you finally do something with her and you stop talking to her at all, like forever. And it's kind of like that kind of shows your intentions. Exactly. But if you kind of reach back out every now and then, it's like, oh, okay, maybe, you know.
Y'all be playing these mind games.
It's kind of weird.
It is, but I mean, it sucks that, and it's not just women who go through this. It's majority women, but men go through it too. Like women being too aggressive and.
I know this has happened.
Because this happened to you before.
It happened to me and it happened to people I know where you get a woman who's too aggressive. You know what I mean? And it's kind of one of those things like, well, but I know there's a lot of women who are like that too. Like, I guess I was in a bad situation.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are some women who come out and say like, I actually want to speak about this so this doesn't happen to others. Right. And then there's like the whole confusion with like people talking about like, don't put yourself in that situation. And then others or women are like, raise your sons not to act like this. Like rather than telling them what women should do, say what men shouldn't do. Right.
That's true too. It's women play a part sometimes, men play a part, but I hate when they say sometimes, they say women shouldn't put themselves in certain situations. I mean, look, if you walk into your car from a restaurant at nighttime and something happens, that's not you putting yourself in that situation. You know what I mean? Like accidents do happen. Or if it happens where people just drive up to their driveway, get out the car and walk into the house and something happens, So you can't really just blame the woman.
This is woman who came out. I guess she dated Callen.
Oh, okay.
And she talked about, this is today, and she was talking about how she stayed the night with Callen and Callen like violated her.
Oh, wow.
Right? And by the way, Callen and Tiffany Haddish are like dating.
Really?
Yeah, crazy little mix. They said the quarantine did it for him. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that why she went bald? They both bald.
Yeah, they say both bald. They said they twins now.
That is funny.
Yeah. So, what was I talking about?
The woman said that Callen violated her.
Yeah. So she's like, he was sleeping in the bed. This after like they did some type of like video or something like that or some show or whatever. And she's like, I'm tired. I'm just trying to lay down. They're in a bed together. And she's like trying to make. She's like, no. And then like she ends up falling asleep because she said she's been raped before, so she was in a position where if he got too extra, like trying to pull her pants down, she'll come with the right. But then she said when she's waking, like she's like asleep in the morning, and she feels something poking on her face. She's like, what is that? She's like, he trying to stick his thing in my mouth while I was asleep.
What?
Yeah. She's like, what you trying to do? She starts screaming, like, you trying to do that to me? Like, started screaming at him. And then she's like, that's probably why. And then she started going out. That's probably why he's single now. He can't keep no woman because that man messed up. Then this man messed up in the head, right?
Oh, my God.
And then, I think of a situation like that where I'm like, well, if he is in the bed with you and he's sleep with you, I feel like, am I wrong to get the wrong impression by that?
Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah, that is kind of weird because I'm not going to be sleeping in the bed with a man that I don't plan on doing anything with.
At all. But that happens all the time.
Because this is the thing. If she really was tired and he was a respectable man, he would have been like, you know what? You sleep in the bed, I'm going to sleep on the sofa. Mm-hmm. That has happened to me a million times, like in college. Mm-hmm. When you just sleep tired, drunk or whatever, there's been plenty of times where the guy would sleep on the sofa, the girl would sleep in the bed. There's never been a time where I would go in the bed with a guy not thinking that something wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's just weird. So she did kind of put herself in that situation.
Yeah. And I would think. Remember the other one where she's drunk and then, the guy took her home and then she let the guy in her apartment and then she let him in the shower with her. And then she said while they're in the shower, he started to make moves and she said, no, I didn't want that. And I'm thinking, y'all are both naked in the shower.
Yeah, but I think she did it because she was more scared. I would think if I'm at home and a man is in the house with me, I would just say yes to everything because I'm so frightened and I'm so scared.
Scared of what?
That he may kill me.
Oh, all the way.
Yeah, he may kill her. If she's just being nice, yeah, come on in, deliver the pizza real quick. And then he follows her wherever she goes. She's just like, I don't even know what the hell to say. If I tell him no, he may kill me. And he probably just oh, let me get in the shower with you. And she's just like, yes, you know what I mean? She probably was just so afraid. She just said yes to everything.
Is that like a defense mechanism? You saying?
I don't know. Or maybe something happened to her in the past. I feel like there got to be some type of story that we just don't know about her.
No,
that
what I'm
was
saying.
Weird.
No, what I'm saying is, as a woman, is that y'all get fearful,
yeah,
and then y'all, in essence, make a decision that y'all wouldn't make, I guess, with a regular mind.
I mean, I would think so. I mean, I've never been in that situation before, but I would think that something clicks in your brain to where you may just say yes to everything because you're just so afraid. I don't know. I would think.
Wow. This is what do you call it? Above my ken.
What does that mean?
Ken.
Like Barbie and Ken?
Yeah. Well, the actual name.
Ken, yeah.
When the actual term ken is something's above your knowledge range. So when there's a substitute teacher who comes in,
yeah, and
they're trying to teach something but they can't do it, it's oh, their subject matter is above that teacher's ken. So this is above my ken.
Really?
I'm just don't have the understanding needed to make sense of it all, because
right,
it's man versus woman on this one.
I think so. I don't know. I just feel like that situation is kind of touchy, and I can't really speak on it much because, like I said, I've never been in that situation, and I don't. I mean, I have girlfriends who have been in that situation when they were, but more when they were younger. But I don't know anyone as an adult who's been in a similar situation. But I don't know. It's just the world is crazy.
I mean, I know of men who are nervous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of becoming successful because of some misunderstandings that they had, younger,
Yeah.
But then that's when I say, what could possibly be done? Nothing, You could call the person and just make it 10 times worse.
Right.
Hey, remember 10 years ago?
You're just kind of leave that situation alone. Let's just move on.
She's
from that.
Oh my God, thank you so much for
reminding me. Exactly.
I was trying to wonder who that was.
Oh my God. I mean, there's been one time where I was, you remember I told you I was, I think I was, roofied. Yeah. It was me and my best friend went to a bar that we go to every single week. This little Mexican spot where you go and eat and have 3 margaritas, literally 3 small margaritas, because we both had to go to work at 6 a.m. every day. And that night, for some strange reason, we had met a group of guys there and we were sick. and one of the guys asked me to bring him home. I mean, not bring him home, bring him to his car. And I remember driving him. I remember him getting in the car, but I don't remember driving him to his car. I just remember driving home. And I was just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was crazy. Like the next day, me and my friend, we were on the phone. We were like so sick. And she was like, I think we were drugged. Yeah, it was very, very scary. But I put the time together. So I know that I dropped him off at his car and I went, drove home because it wasn't that much of a big gap from, me dropping him off to his car to me going home. But had there have been a gap, I would have been like, okay, something happened and I don't remember. To this day, I still don't remember. Like I don't even remember what his car looked like. I just remember him getting in my car. After that, I just remember just driving home. I'm like, how the hell did I even get here? It was crazy. So yeah, women, y'all gotta be careful out there too, cause, it was, and we bought our own drinks. That's another thing. We purchased our own drinks, but I guess cause we're all talking and stuff, maybe one of them just threw something in the cup.
You feel like you got lucky on that?
Oh yeah, big time. Big time, yeah, big time.
I can't wait for the roles to switch on it, cause there'll be one day, cause now men are acting like women, where like women are gonna start roofing guys.
Oh my God, no, because y'all probably wouldn't even like,
the whole
be able to like perform.
the whole what was Beyonce said as far as like he got me Red Lobster and what he gave me head, so I gave him Red Lobster. Or something like that.
I don't know what she said because it's always bleeped out. You're not listening to the radio. I hit a radio version.
Yeah, and
I think she said he effed me good. I took his ass to Red Lobster. Red Lobster. I think that's what she said.
So that empowered women.
No,
it turned it around.
We've been talking about this for years. We have a song. I can't think of the song, but it's he took me to his crib, the house where his mama lived.
Yeah.
And he took me to his room and said, "Benford, let me give you some." It's like, and then she said something like, I put the money on a dresser or something weird, but it flipped the script. It did. It made it seem like she like did it with him and then he paid her for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been doing that.
Switching it up.
I mean, not me. I'm just saying like New Orleans music.
Oh, look at you.
No, not me.
Quick save.
No, I'm talking about music in general.
Well, this was super enjoyable.
I know, right? We could talk for days, y'all.
I know. Could have kept that going.
I know, right?
But thank y'all so much for joining us. This was so fun. And we will catch y'all later.
Next
Peace
time.
out.
Peace.
And remember that when you think things are falling apart, they actually may be falling together.